guys, this is Virak from Bionic Buzz, and if you like beautiful old classic car, you have to stay with us today because we are in the parking lot of the Hollywood Museum in Hollywood, and we are surrounded by all of these amazing cars. Please stay with us and see how the celebrities are talking about their experiences about classic cars and driving.
Have you guys not gone to the Hollywood Museum yet? You need to go to the Hollywood Museum at Hollywood and Highland because everything show business is there, and my heart is there too. Classic cars out here, and then inside the museum, all those wonderful cars from the movies and the TV shows. This is going to be a lot of fun.
So now I have to ask, but what is your favorite movie? What is related with one of these beautiful cars?
Because I know the man who made it, and because I got to sit in it when he was still alive, it's the Batmobile. It's the original Batmobile from the 1966 Batman movie and TV show. That is my absolute favorite of all the cars.
Are you a good driver?
You know, they're hard to drive. Those cars were not made fully large, like the Munster coach that Mr. Barris made. I could barely get my feet in. I mean, my knees were in my chest. They're they're smaller than they look, but they are so cool. I mean, I can't imagine anybody just not becoming a 6-year-old again with these cars. Ooh, ooh, look at this, look at this.
Well, you know, we've always wanted to do a car show, and so many different car clubs have come to talk to us, but Great Autos, it's the largest car club in California, and they have a very strong presence in Southern California. And you're here this morning, we're just starting to set up now. And so we're kind of excited about all of this. And for us, it's the thrill of drawing the attention to the classic cars, because, you know, people love whether it's the 40s car, like this 40s Buick. The same model was the key car in Casablanca. Or whether it's a 57 Thunderbird or a Dodge Sierra station wagon. They have a couple Rolls Royces, beautiful Jaguars, Mercuries. You know, it's so much fun to see all these cars. But this is for everyone to come and see it. And inside the museum, we have some great star cars. We have the car from Smokey and the Bandit that Burt Reynolds drove, the Trans Am. We have the Ectomobile from Ghostbusters, from Back to the Future. We have the Time Machine, and of course the iconic Batmobile from the original TV show. I love all the cars equally. They're all very exciting. And you know, for different reasons, because they all make your memory go back to that film, and you remember the film, and you remember that car. When you see it, you say, oh my goodness, I remember what I was doing then, or how old I was, or whether I was in school, or my first job, what was going on, you know, in your lifetime at the time of these films.
Maybe I asked something else that, okay, you can't decide what is your favorite piece in the museum, but what is your favorite movie, what related with cars?
Oh, that's a good question. I still can't answer that because some of that information is in our museum.
Okay, hi, I'm Mike Parenti, and I'm Vice President of Great Autos Car Club here in Southern California.
Hi, I'm Stu Swade. I have been a Great Autos Car Club member since 1986.
Oh, that sounds a long time.
When I met him, and
Yeah,
I met him
yeah,
in 1986.
And we're friends from 1986.
Yeah.
And I guess that you both very interested in old cars. So please tell me about this passion.
Well, you know, I've been a car guy since I was a kid, and my first car was a 1966 Charger, which actually Stu has one of them right now. So I've been a collector, and unfortunately, as I've gotten older, my collection's gotten larger to the point where it's almost unmanageable. But currently, I own a lot of Thunderbirds, Ford products, and I also own the Disco Pinto, which is our club's unofficial mascot. And basically, it's a 71 Pinto covered in 23,000 glass mirror tiles. So it's like a running, driving disco ball. And we're big fans of the museum, so we're here to have a little show today, support them, and show people our cars.
Yes, my passion also came from my childhood. I grew up in Southern California in the San Fernando Valley, and I have always loved in the 60s where the body styles would change like every year, every 2 years. and you can look at a car then and know exactly what the year, make, and model was. You can't do that very much anymore. I started with the Charger that Mike mentioned, and my collection has grown, and I have that station wagon that's back there. That's what I brought today.
Wow. So probably you watch all the movies with the old cars. What are the favorite movies? Could you highlight some?
Oh my goodness, yeah, Mad World. It's a Mad World is one of our favorites.
I really love American Graffiti because it really captured that era, and the cars are featured throughout the whole movie, and it's just a great nostalgic film. So I love American Graffiti for sure.
How many cars you have?
I have 11, including my daily driver.
I'll admit to 40. So, like I said, I got it pretty bad. But Great Autos is Southern California's LGBT classic car club. There's a lot of gays and lesbians that like cars, and our club was formed in 1983. We now have about 1,200 members here on Southern California, and we have multiple events every month, and it's a great way to meet people and share our passion for cars.
You can be of any race, gender, sexuality, and everyone is welcome. You just have to have a passion for cars.
And you don't even have to have a car.
That's what I wanted to ask. So if I don't have a car, I still can be the part of the club, right?
Yeah, we'd love to have you as a member. You can go on our website.
You can learn a lot from the cars and from the people that are members. They love to talk about their cars. And also, many times people will join just to say, well, I think I'm going to buy that car, because that really strikes my fancy.
What a joy that the Hollywood Museum, our wonderful friend Donelle Dadigan, brought these gorgeous classic cars to the museum so that people can enjoy the Hollywood memorabilia and also automobile memorabilia. So I'm kind of looking at this because the very first car that I ever bought with my own money was a Cadillac Coupe de Ville. And I was very proud of myself, and it was exactly this color. So I'm partial to this because the color is a very blonde color, and it's the blonde icon representation that I am giving to the owner today. So I've got to find out who owns this and marry him.
And convertible or normal?
Either way. I loved convertibles. Mine was a Coupe de Ville, but then after that I had Cadillac convertibles, and nothing felt as wonderful. But our times have changed, and convertibles I don't think are the safest thing anymore. I'm sorry to say that times are not what they used to be when nobody bothered to lock their cars.
In your filming experiences, have you have a memory when you drove a wonderful car, what you wanted to take home or something?
I think what I remember the most is not a beautiful car, but a beautiful wagon and a team of horses in westerns that took me a lot of places, long before automobiles were on the market. And I love doing all of the westerns, and I kind of miss the money.
Do you think that you are a good driver?
I'm a very good driver. I tend to be a little lead-footed, but I'm very cautious, and I'm aware of what's going on around me and behind me and everything else. And so I just suggest that everybody become a good driver, be a cautious driver.
Have you ever have a chauffeur?
I've been chauffeured, but I've never had one. I've never employed one, but I've been chauffeured many times, and I like it a lot. My friend Frank Sheftel picks me up all the time to bring me here to the museum. It's very nice to be chauffeured.
You could choose a chauffeur from, Hollywood, from the celebrities. Who would you take?
Who would I take? You know who I'd take? Dom DeLuise. Because then I know I'd laugh all the way, and I wouldn't be telling him how to drive. I'd be too busy laughing.
When will be your next nice drive somewhere? Will you go? Are you planning some like a road trip or something?
I wish I could do a road trip, but I will be going to Texas and being picked up there and driven around. I'm going for an event called Ranch Hand Rescue. And then I'm going up to Mayberry Days, where they celebrate our friend Andy Griffith year after year. And I'm going to be a guest star up there. And I know that that's a long drive from Charlotte to Mount Airy, but that's where I'm going to be.
Caroline, we are here today with these beautiful cars.
All of them I want. I want every single one of these cars. Especially that one. Yeah, no, I get out of it, Ruta. Get out of it. This is just fabulous. I think it's like one of the cars that my mother owned way back. So it takes me.
It looks like it's a convertible also. Would you like convertible?
You have to have a convertible with a, with a Thunderbird. You have to. Driving up PCH, Highway 1, you have to. It's part of. It's like an unwritten law. So.
In your movie experiences and your shooting experiences, have you ever drive a very wonderful car?
I drove an old Mercedes once, and that was because the owner was right there, and it's a vintage car, classic car. So I was very nervous, extremely nervous. It also wasn't in exactly the best shape, so maneuvering the steering column, right? So anyway.
Are you driving an automatic car or a manual?
Oh, please. Automatic. I've forgotten how to drive a stick shift. I would strip those gears so fast, I would grind and strip them so fast to make your head spin. So, yeah.
So, is it a big challenge when you have to drive on set a car?
Well, sure, because they've leased those automobiles, they've rented them, or sometimes if it's a low budget film, it belongs to a producer or another actor or somebody who's lent the car. So and it's your responsibility. You don't want to scratch it or ding it. So yeah, it can be.
Are you a good driver?
I'm a very good driver. I'm a defensive driver. I'm always on the lookout for the other people who aren't. So yeah.
And please share us some upcoming news about you.
Oh, I've got a film coming out called Wineville, where I play a murderer. And then I have a film called Echo Base, where I play a traitorous colonel, traitorous to our fabulous United States. And then there's some big, fabulous doings on General Hospital, so people have got to start watching. Because my character finally gets a bit of a romance. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't remember. Have you ever drive a car in the General Hospital?
General Hospital? Have you ever driven a car in General Hospital? Yes, on a road trip with Alexis Davis, my best and only friend on the show. And we had a flat tire. So I don't think, the car already had a flat or already had trouble. So no, we tried to change the tires, and it was disastrous.
And so what is your connection to the event?
Well, one, I'm a great fan of the Hollywood Museum and do everything I can to help support them and bring attention to this wonderful, iconic, important representative of Hollywood. And I'm here because I love cars. I mean, look at Happy Days. I mean, I'm back in my territory here. Beautiful cars, great club. People have to know too that this wonderful car show on this parking lot's free, so the public can come down and then if they want to, they can go over to the Hollywood Museum, which is they have an amazing car collection. The Batmobile, the famous car from Back to the Future. I mean, so many iconic original cars in there that, and along with so many other displays and wonderful memorabilia. It's also the museum's also the original Max Factory building where Marilyn Monroe, they made her a blonde, where they made Lucille Ball a redhead. I mean, there's so much history there. So anyway, people should come out today. They should come to the parking lot, enjoy these cars, and go into the Hollywood Museum and really see the real Hollywood.
Did you already pick up one? What is your absolute favorite one?
Favorite car?
Yes.
Well, it's not here. My favorite one is a '67 Canary Yellow Gto.
Have you ever driven that?
Unfortunately, yes. When I was in 12th grade, and we were lower middle class, my friend was able to afford that car. So there I was with a bicycle, and there he was with a '67 Canary Yellow black interior GTO. And yeah, he let me drive it just so I'd feel worse.
What was your car? What you love the best? What you own?
years later, I was actually able to buy a '56 Chevy, and that was a wonderful moment. So I just love the muscle cars, the '50s and the '60s, and yeah. So, but then I kind of backed off. It's kind of dangerous. If you get one, you'll want 10. So I took a house over cars.
What type of car are you driving now?
It's really sexy. It is so. You ready for this? A 2015 Sienna van.
I already picked that one. I don't know, scientific. It's because I felt like I matched. I went with it. So scientific picking. No, it's beautiful. It would be beautiful even if I didn't have this color on. Yeah.
And in your filming experience, have you ever used a car that you really loved?
Well, I have been on Young and the Restless. I just celebrated my 40th anniversary. And I have to say, I've never really gotten to drive a car on the show. So, but you never know. You never give up, right? You never know.
Are you a good driver?
I'm an excellent driver because guess what? I competed in the Toyota Grand Prix race in Long Beach and went to race car driving school. So I am a good driver. I didn't win the race, but I didn't. My car finished. My claim to fame was my car ended up with not even one scratch on it.
Why a lady wants to love the speed so much?
Well, it was interesting. I never done anything like that, and I mean, there's a whole science to it, and there's rules, and like you have to stay in your lane. If you see cars coming behind you, you have to just stay right where you are, and then they go around you. If you move, that's the end. So it was kind of scary, I think.
Hi, Bert. That's what I heard, that you represent this car, and the first owner of the car, who is here actually. So it's a Thunderbird. Please tell me the story, what you know.
Well, the owner of the car is Al Bishop. He bought the car when he was fresh out of high school at the age of 18 and drag raced it for quite a few years. Put it in storage for something like 40 years, and then after we retired from our business, he decided to restore it, and here it is.
So how big was how can I ask it? So probably it was a big work to work on this car. Did you do it by yourself together with your friend, or did you just took it to a mechanic who fixed the car?
No, Al's very mechanical. He's done most of the mechanical work himself. The car recently, about a year ago, had a complete paint job and body work, but it was in good shape going in, so surprisingly, after 40 years, 60 years.
Is it the original color of the car?
Yes, it is.
And it looks like it's a convertible. I mean, you can open the car, is it true?
The hardtop removes, but there's no storage space for it. It doesn't fit in the trunk. So you have to make your decision. Do you want an open or a closed car before you take off someplace?
Yeah, and we are in California, so we're not really worried about the rain, right? That is, if you start to go with the car and it starts raining, that would be a problem.
Yes, that would be a problem. But it goes fast, so the rain just goes right over.
How was the condition of the motor of the car?
It was fine. It's still in there.
Wow. So it's also the original motor in it?
No. In 1963, Ford gifted him a race engine. And because he was working on a project for Ford to fuel inject cars that ultimately went to Le Mans. But they gave him an engine and transmission package and said, here, put it in your Thunderbird.
Do you also have a classic car somewhere at home?
I have a 1922 Stanley that I'm restoring to make it roadworthy, which I expect I'll be able to drive it in another month or two.
That's fantastic. We want to see that. We want to see that, definitely. Thank you so much, Bert. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.